What an excellent day for an exorcism.
Welcome back to Just a Guy Reviews. I'm Matt Sula, and today's special presentation is, in my opinion, the greatest horror movie ever made, The Exorcist. This is the 1973 movie directed by William Friedkin, starring Ellen Bernstein as Chris MacNeil, Linda Blair as Regan, Jason Miller, Father Karras, and Mox Van Sydow as Father Mirren. In my opinion, this is a perfect movie. I know by today's standards, a lot of people think it's slow, plotting, not scary. And you know what? It's all those things, and that's what makes it perfect, in my opinion. The first hour, it doesn't get into really anything except character development. We're seeing what's going on. We're finding out the relationship between Chris MacNeil and Regan, the mother-daughter duo of the movie. We're finding out who Father Karras is. Father Mirren only in the first 10 minutes, and I think the last 20. And yet the movie's named after him. He is the Exorcist. Let's get into the description of this movie real quick. When young Regan starts acting odd, levitating, speaking in tongues, her worried mother seeks medical help only to hit a dead end. A local priest, however, thinks the girl may be seized by the devil. The priest makes a request to perform an exorcism, and the church sends an expert to help with the difficult job. That is straight from Google. I assume that was given from Warner Brothers, the distributor of the movie. And if you've seen the movie, the priest, Jason Miller, who plays, like I said, Father Karras, does not think the girl is seized by the devil. He was skeptical at first anyways. Once he finds out that the girl may be possessed in some way, he does seek help because, as they say in the movie, at some point you do need to get confirmation from the church to even perform an exorcism because they just don't happen anymore. But what's great about this movie is I think the pacing. I know a lot of people hate the first 10 minutes, and we'll start there, but we're basically seeing Father Mirren on a archaeological dig on his quest to deepen his faith that back then all priests went on. He's in northern Iraq digging. They find this little statue that is basically the face of evil. They find it. He gets this face. He puts his face on it. He's like, oh my God, what is this? He ends up, going all around, continuing his journey. And he starts seeing, he finds this bigger statue of, the same statue, this bigger one. I don't really recall what the god is. I'm pretty sure it's, the god of evil, a symbol of evil. And the music, or the sounds, I don't even know if you can call it music. The sounds that they play are just unsettling. They're this high-pitched, designed to make you feel uncomfortable. You're designed to, hate it. It's perfect. The dogs start fighting. All just iconic stuff. And you don't have this movie without this scene. This whole scene is basically seeing how evil has arrived. This is the evil. This is it. Whether you believe that's where this demon came from is up for interpretation. I mean, there's that when he finds the statue. There's Regan later on, we find out, has found a Ouija board and is playing with the Ouija board. There are a few things that you can say, oh, that's what happened. That's where this demon that we find out in the second movie, actually, named Pazuzu, comes from. But anyways, that's the first 10 minutes. People hate it. I think it's perfect. I think it's great. It really sets the tone for the rest of the movie. What we find out now is we start and head to Georgetown, where this takes place, where we follow Chris MacNeil and Regan as they are living there. Chris MacNeil plays an actress. She's shooting a movie. And Regan's basically just, at home, if not, I believe this takes place during the summer, so. But anyways, we really start like the next 15 minutes, maybe 15, 20 minutes, character development. We're seeing who these two are. We're seeing who Reagan is, this sweet, sweet, innocent little girl, very close with her mother, loves to like draw, make little clay figurines. Like she's just like high pitched, like the nicest girl, like the epitome of innocence. And as time starts to go on, she starts acting weird. My favorite scene in the movie, my favorite line in the movie comes from Reagan when she's not feeling well. They brought her to the doctor. They did a little test on her. She's acting out, but the mother, like I said, an actress, she's having a little get together, which is the weirdest people that could get together. There's a priest, actress, astronaut, like just all these like really weird jobs coming together, just having a party. And they're all like around, they've been drinking, obviously. They're all around the piano, they're singing. Reagan's supposed to be upstairs sleeping, but she comes down. And they're like, oh, looks like we got a visit from somewhere. And Reagan just looks at the astronaut and delivers my favorite line of the movie. She goes,
"You're gonna die up there."
Reagan? In my opinion, pound for pound, the best delivered line ever in any movie that I've ever seen. It's my favorite. I think it's delivered perfectly, and that just makes you go there and go, oh shit, what's going on? Like, why did she say that? Because we don't really, again, at first, this is what I love about most horror movies. It makes you just believe that she's going insane for a little bit, like she's just not acting right. It doesn't seem anything supernatural yet. It's just building and building and building until we finally get to when like the demon really starts taking over. The bed starts shaking, the legs are coming off the ground, shit's flying everywhere. Like she's moving a chair, she's moving the dresser without touching it, like just telepathically. Starts yelling things at everyone. Do you know what she did? Yo, cunting data. Like it's all great stuff. I know people think the dialogue is funny now, like haha, little girl like saying your mother sucks cocks in hell. Like everyone thinks it's funny now, but I think it's all great. Like it's just watching this demon take over this little girl and making her, this innocent little girl, and just making her an absolute like demon. Really, she's just acting like a demon. Eventually, we keep going. Chris McNeil then goes to find Father Karras because she needs her help, because they don't know what's wrong with her. They just think that, like, I don't know, there's something mentally wrong with her. They've been taking her back and forth to the hospital for God knows how long. They prescribe her Ritalin. They keep doing like tests to scan her brain. Nothing wrong with the brain. They have no idea what's going on until they're finally sitting around the table, and one of the doctors just goes, "Have you heard of exorcism?" Like, and she's like, "No." Like, I mean, she's heard of it, but like, they get down to it. Like, she's not religious. Chris McNeil. She doesn't know if Reagan's religious. Like, it's all very subtle. One question: Miss McNeil, are you religious? No. How about your daughter? I don't know. Bang. That's it. And once everything keeps getting weirder, Reagan's head does a 360. Shit's flying everywhere. Like, now she believes that her daughter might be possessed. So she goes and finds Father Karras, who was a priest in Georgetown that they actually sent to Harvard to become to study psychology. So he's basically was a priest, is a psychologist coming back to being a priest. So she ends up going to him for help. asking a bunch of questions, and she's like, do you think an exorcism would work? And he's just like, what are you talking about? An exorcism? Like, we don't do that anymore. And she's like, well, it turns out someone very close to me might very well be possessed. And he's like, I'll visit her, but I'm gonna tell you, like, it's probably just like all mental. Like, it's she's not possessed. Goes to meet her, and this is my favorite scene in the movie. The first time Father Karras and Reagan meet is just fantastic. Like, every line is perfect. I think there's Father Karras is introducing himself.
Well, then let's introduce ourselves. I'm Damien Karras.
And I'm the devil. Now kindly undo these straps.
Like, great stuff. Where's Reagan? In here with us. He's still like, not fully believing it. And then earlier in the movie, which wasn't worth mentioning, he's like waiting for the train or the subway in New York, and a homeless man says, like, can you spare some change, Father? Same voice comes out of Reagan.
Can you help an old altar boy, Father?
Your mother's in here with us, Karis. Would you like to leave a message? I see that she gets it.
Same voice. Can you spare some change for an old altar boy? And he's like, oh my God, what's going on? Like, he starts really fucking with him. He's like, your mother's in with us, Karis. Like, all great stuff. And that, all to bring it to the iconic split piece soup vomit scene.
What is it?
Such a great minute and a half that just really drags you in there. I think it's my favorite scene of the movie. And it all leads to the more they end up tying her to the bed, which I think they've already done, because she asks her to undo these straps. Leads to the big exorcism at the end with Max von Sydow. He shows up. That's where we get the iconic poster of him standing outside. Like, it's just everything this movie is. Subtlety, great delivering lines, great acting. Feel like if there's no disturbing, like, high-pitched noises going on, it's dead silent in the background. Everything I think about this movie is perfect. And I gotta give, if I had to give a best performance to anybody, like, acting wise, it would go to Jason Miller as Father Karras. I think that every line that he delivers, his facial expressions, his body language, it's all perfect. But I gotta give it to Mercedes Cambridge, who is the voice of Pazuzu. It's a perfect voice. Everything she says just hits. Whether you think it's funny, scary, disturbing, no matter what you think about it, I think it's incredible stuff. Like I said, best horror movie ever made. It's my anywhere from, at any point, my second, third, or fourth favorite movie ever. I think it is. It is the beginning of the modern day horror movie. It starts with this, but it's so different. I think a reason why a lot of people just don't like it anymore is because it's slow. There are no jump scares. There's no gore. Like, it doesn't have everything that these terrible B-level horror movies are today that people enjoy, which I enjoy too. I like B-level horror. I like jump scares. This is just an entirely different thing where you're not scared. You're not terrifying. You're not going to jump out your seat, but you're sitting there going, something's not right. There's something wrong here. And it just makes you, like, uncomfortable in your seat. Like, you want to move. You want to move around. It's such a perfect, in my mind, again, perfect movie. Which, if you, like I said, perfect, 100 out of 100 for me. So, which is why a lot of these, like, IMDb 8.1. That makes sense. That makes all the sense in the world to me. Rotten Tomatoes critic 78 is insane. I know for its time it was like, what the fuck are they doing here? Like, they're having this little girl stab herself in the vagina with a crucifix. She's, again, saying, your mother sucks cocks in hell, lick me, all this stuff. Like, it's so out of left field for 1973, and that's why it was such a hit. Letterboxd 4.0, that's good. Rotten Tomatoes audience 87. And, you know, for a movie that was $12 million budget, it made $441.3 million with, like, its total box office. That's insane. This movie was a bona fide hit. It was nominated for Best Picture, ended up losing to The Sting. I haven't seen The Sting. I tried watching it the other day when I was planning out this video just so I could say, should this have won? Stream wasn't loading, but I know the Academy gets it wrong all the time, but I do hear that The Sting is great. I haven't seen it, so I can't tell you whether or not that I think The Exorcist should have won Best Picture. I'm sure even after I watch The Sting, I'm just going to say it still should have. Ellen Bernstein probably shouldn't have won Best Actress. Again, I haven't seen any of these movies, but it was the highest grossing rated R horror movie until It in 2017. Like, and it's just like not. It's still so much better than everything that comes out today. Like, again, I've shown people this movie. They're like, it's too slow, it's boring, and I just don't understand where that comes from. Maybe on a first watch, but I've seen this movie a million times. And, like, every time I watch it, I go, bang, that's going to happen. Bang, bang, bang. I think it's perfect. 100 out of 100 for me. One of the best movies ever made. William Friedkin at his best. But that'll be it for me, guys. Thank you again for watching. Please like the video. Subscribe to the channel. Really helps out a lot. And I'll see you next time.
Your mother sucks cocks in hell, Karis, you faithless swine.